ladies for blackbirds and thrushes.
I think it's important to keep experimenting with it and keep letting it evolve naturally from your influences in order to kind of keep it alive, but to always go back and play some of the old traditional stuff. So it has a modern twist to a lot of it, but it still pays homage to a lot of the old composers.
Ladies for ducks on the water. If all the young ladies for ducks on the water.
I grew up in an area here where the most prominent style of fiddling would be kind of a Cape Breton style, but my grandparents are from Ireland, so my style has always been very Irish, and it was neat to get to know players kind of from that part of the world and be influenced. And now I have the real desire to go and tour those parts of the world under my own name and yeah, to tour this album. Growing up, there was always kind of old song books and tune books and around the house, and I used to go through these phases of just, you know, I get obsessed with a certain instrument and I decide I want to learn how to play the wooden flute, and then that wouldn't stick, and I want to learn how to play the accordion, and I was okay at the accordion, but not not like the fiddle. But I started playing fiddle too, this is kind of funny, when I was in grade primary, so I'm like 5 years old, and this girl named Allison Zimmer brought in a violin for show and tell, and I was a jealous little redhead, and she got all this attention, and I thought, I came home from school, Allison brought in a violin today, I need to learn how to play the violin, and that's how that started too. It's pretty funny. It spawned out of jealousy. I only started just kind of making vocals my main thing within my show pretty recently, but I've been singing for a long time, but I was always singing backups or singing at home, and so I've finally become comfortable to sing all that stuff, which is good.
And all the harm that e'er I've done, alas, it was to none.
This album is called If All the Young Ladies, and it is a kind of a project of love. I've been working on it for a long time. I recorded it last winter in Scotland, and with a great group of musicians from there, a couple producers from Glasgow named Paul McKenna and David McNee. I think that has influenced my style a lot. It's been 7 years now since I did an album, so it's been a long time coming. It's good to wait to do an album until you really love all the material, you're committed to all the material that you want to put on it.
My Jackie and me, oh, tell them young ladies, go and tell them for me.
I started writing songs, I think, when I was like a young teenager, but I guess my first real song I wrote was about this boy when I was 15, who just completely shattered my heart. This next song is a song that's not on the album, but it's one that I wrote a few years ago, and hopefully it will be on album number 3.
Well, if anybody asks if I'm doing fine, I'm doing fine. That's a lie for anyone who knows how I'm feeling tonight. In this life we can't just get what we want without a little blood. So with some scissors and tape, I'm gonna shape this shadow into what I want. I'm gonna mold you, fold you, bend you and break you. I'm gonna make you into a crown. Gonna snap you, wrap you around my little finger. I'm gonna build you into a
everything that you hear kind of influences it, and I just think it's neat to take those outside influences and kind of bring that into your love of traditional music. You know, the stuff that you go and jam after a festival or is traditional stuff that you would hear, you know, you would have heard people play hundreds of years ago. So everyone has that kind of, a lot of the time, that deep love of the old tradition. And I think people worry about it going away, but I find that a lot of people I encounter that play the modern type Celtic stuff, they all still really love that old stuff, because that's what they're connected to.